A chilling discovery in a Florida ditch clues police into a brutal crime.
There's a decomposing body in a ditch.
He had been stabbed more than 40 times.
It's possible that our victim wasn't even able to scream.
Did a former flame become deadly?
Do you know who the girl was?
I don't even know who she was.
Or did a secret double life spiral out of control?
She had a criminal history. She was involved in narcotics and things of that nature.
She had been cheating on him.
She went over to dude's house, hung out with him.
That car was set on fire. It was completely destroyed.
There's nowhere to run now.
Go ahead, step out for me.
She turned on him 100%.
She was tired of the lies.
The contempt, the deception, the lack of trust all led to this deadly recipe.
August 12, 2020, Geneva, Florida. It's a calm, tropical afternoon in the lush landscape of Seminole County.
Geneva is really close to Orlando. It's about 30 minutes north. It's more rural, and so there are less people, less attractions.
There are areas that are wooded and secluded. It's kind of reminds you like when people think of the country.
But at 3:20 p.m., a chilling call sends shockwaves through the county sheriff's office.
A man was walking in the area of Settlers Loop in Geneva when he made a startling discovery.
911, police, fire, medical.
Police, Settlers Loop. There's a decomposing body in the ditch.
There's a body in the ditch decomposing.
Correct. It looks like maybe an African-American naked body.
When police arrive at the scene, it's just as the caller described.
They find an unidentified black male on the side of the road in early stages of decomposition, without any clothing, disposed like garbage.
It's clear the victim suffered a violent death.
He had been stabbed more than 40 times, all over his body, including his head.
So the level of aggression and the level of violence in this case is a telltale sign that it's a crime of passion. It's somebody who knows this person, and they want to make sure this person is dead.
But who is he?
The victim was nude, and there was no ID.
If the suspect has time, they tend to get rid of the victim's cell phone, the murder weapon, whether it's a gun, a knife, a blunt instrument. So we never found the knife.
It was just the body. That's all police had to go on.
So investigators decide to run a fingerprint analysis.
When you have somebody with no identification on them, no identifiable tattoos at that time due to the early stages of decomposition, and you want to identify your victim very quickly, fingerprints would be the best way to do it. It's the quickest method.
And when police run the prints, they immediately get a hit.
It was at this time that they were able to determine the victim was 30-year-old Joel Cosby.
Joel Rashad Cosby was known by loved ones as a sharp-witted family man.
He was one of the funniest people ever, whether it was dancing or singing or telling a joke. Joel was always the person to make everybody laugh.
He was real tall, so we'll play basketball. Of course, he'll show out and joke on me. He'll dunk over my head or stuff like that. He was definitely a jokester.
In fact, Joel was a man of many talents.
He did love music. He did rap, actually. He did love to rap.
He could be rapping to his sister. It'll be funny and it'll rhyme at the same time. That was one hell of a combination.
But nothing was more important to Joel than being a father.
In 2015, Joel's girlfriend, Jasmine, gave birth to their daughter, Jelani.
When he held her, it was different. He did not put her down, like, the entire time that he was in the hospital with her.
He overly loved her. Very hands-on.
She looked just like him. I mean, it was a beautiful thing.
However, the union between Joelle and Jelani's mother, Jasmine, wasn't meant to last.
It wasn't one of those things like, you know, I don't love you, I don't want to be with you. It's just my life is not where your life is.
So Jasmine basically ended that relationship, but the two ended in good terms and were still close.
At some point, it just didn't work out, but he wanted to be a good dad to his daughter. So they just co-parented together and remained friends.
In the meantime, Joelle took a job at a local car dealership to help provide for Jelani.
We worked there for a while. We was doing detailing work, and we started doing outside of work. Some customers or friends of ours will like start doing detailing their cars.
When he wasn't busy working or spending time with his daughter, Joelle dipped his toes back into the dating pool. And that's when he met Jade Caparelli.
Early 2016 is when she started to pop up.
He always been somewhat of a ladies' man.
Had an amazing time.
I did too.
Literally, all of the girls were so attracted to him.
However, Jade seemed like more than just a fling.
They connected over the fact that they were both parents.
Jade had 2 children, a girl and a boy.
Eventually, their relationship grew into something really passionate.
But 5 years later, Joelle has been identified as the John Doe stabbed and discarded in Geneva, just 9 miles from his home.
Based on the crime scene, they surmised that he was killed elsewhere.
He was stabbed over 45 times, so the person's going to bleed. They're going to bleed a lot, but it was a noted lack of blood around the body.
He was nude, there was no weapon they could find, and there was no blood at the scene. They have no clues to even start this investigation.
As CSI continues processing the crime scene, detectives prepare to deliver the tragic news to Joelle's loved ones.
That was the worst day of my life. And I lost it.
I'm so sorry.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
My body got cold. It's just a feeling like you're so torn and broken, like, wow, this can't be real.
Unfortunately, Joelle's family has no idea who could have done this.
Is there any reason he would have been in the Geneva area?
They didn't really have any ties to that area specifically, like, at all. They didn't have, a prior address there or had a friend or anything like that.
You don't mess with nobody. I keep saying he's a clown. It was never nothing, no serious, no guns, none of that.
He seemed like a good guy and did not have any enemies, and so they couldn't imagine who would want to harm him.
Can you tell me about the last time you spoke with Joelle?
The last time his family had seen him was about 1 week earlier.
He's known for, I'm gonna come over and then I probably see y'all in 3 days, 4 days, but I'm okay. That was normal.
His mother is able to tell the police that she had seen her son on Sunday, August 9th, around 9:30 p.m.
Joelle was in the Midway area. He had visited his mother. He was eating dinner over her house.
He stayed for about an hour just conversing with his mother and then left around 10:30 p.m.
Don't forget to call me when you get
I will. Love you.
All right, baby. Love you.
But it's who he left with that makes detectives' ears perk up.
As her son was leaving, she was able to look into the car and she saw his on-again, off-again girlfriend, Jade, sitting in the driver's seat.
I never thought she was good enough for my son.
After becoming a father and setting off on a new path for himself, 30-year-old Joelle Cosby had found a kindred spirit in Jade Caparelli.
Joelle and Jade hit it off. She was also a parent.
Joel was still very active in his daughter's life from his previous relationship.
He was definitely a funny, hands-on dad.
But now Joel has been the victim of a brutal stabbing. And in speaking with his mother, it seems Jade Caparelli may have been the last person to see him alive.
Joel's mom recalls seeing him get into a white Dodge vehicle.
As her son was leaving, she was able to look into the car and she saw his on-again, off-again girlfriend, Jade, sitting in the driver's seat.
According to Joel's family, Jade is nothing but trouble.
I always thought that she was not good enough for my son.
His mother was one of the first people. She's like, I don't like her.
Jade had a criminal history. She was involved in narcotics and things of that nature. Joel's family knew of Joel and Jade's relationship. They described it as toxic. You know, the way they spoke to each other and arguing and things like that.
What's your problem now, Jade?
No, I know you're lying.
Lying about what?
They would talk and then they wouldn't talk. They would block each other. They would not speak. They would be back together.
You know what? I'm done with this, man. You're crazy.
After learning about Joel's rocky relationship with Jade, detectives are eager to speak with her, but she's not easy to get a hold of.
We got her phone number and tried different addresses and finally were able to get in touch with her.
She agrees to meet them at the station for an interview.
We're here in reference to, as you're aware of, the death of Joel Cosby. Raise your right hand for me. You swear that everything you tell me today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Detectives begin the interview by asking Jade about her relationship with Joel.
Me and Joel have been on and off for like 5 years. I love him.
But she admits the relationship had its issues.
He's left a few times and got involved with like another girl.
Do you know who the girl was?
There was another little white girl. I don't even know who she was.
Jade also told investigators that Joel was still close with his child's mother, Jasmine.
However, despite their ups and downs, Jade says she and Joel always came back together.
She says they'd recently gotten closer than ever.
In fact, she says they even went apartment hunting last week.
We were looking for a place, so he was looking.
Okay. When was the last time you guys were together?
This weekend.
What day?
Sunday. Sunday's the last time.
Okay, tell me about that day.
Jade says she and Joel hung out all afternoon, and she dropped him off at his mom's house around 9:30 p.m.
Did you ever go to his mom's house?
No, I didn't go in there and speak to her or anything.
While Joel was eating dinner with his mom, Jade went to run some errands.
She confirms that she picked Joel up from his mom's house around 11 p.m.
Jade says after that, she drove Joel to his home and left him there.
You left him at the house?
Yes, he went inside.
You leave him around midnight, somewhere, give or take?
Yeah.
Drive straight home?
Yes, I went straight home.
Jade said when she tried calling Joel the next morning, she didn't get an answer.
What time did you call him next day?
I called him probably around 5, 6.
In the morning or p.m.?
No, in the morning when I got up.
Okay. Where do you get up so early?
I usually can't sleep very much, to be honest.
But when detectives ask Jade what happened next, she makes a shocking admission.
She met up with another man on Monday.
And you immediately went the absolute next day, the next morning, Monday morning.
Another dude.
Seminole County detectives investigating the stabbing death of beloved 30-year-old father Joel Cosby are speaking with his girlfriend, Jade Caparelli.
The Monday after Joel went missing, she met up with another man.
You immediately went the absolute next day, the next morning, Monday morning.
Another dude.
It was her ex-boyfriend, Marvin Bryant.
What's your relationship with Marvin? Is it still intimate?
Not really. No.
Not really, or no, or yes?
No.
Jade explains that Marvin is the father of one of her children, and they still maintain a friendly co-parenting relationship.
So you get up the next morning and you drive back to Marvin's house in Orlando. Where does he live in Orlando?
He lives in Apopka.
Detectives are now wondering if Marvin had an axe to grind with Joelle. Is this a love triangle situation?
What does Marvin think of Joelle?
He doesn't really know Joelle to think of it.
Did they ever talk?
No, they don't talk to each other.
Jade insists Marvin would never hurt Joelle.
So he's a good guy?
Yeah, he's very good.
And even when Jade was at Marvin's, she says she was still trying to get a hold of Joelle.
She claims she continued trying to reach out to Joelle in the following days.
Keep trying?
I called.
So did you ever think about reporting him missing?
Well, no, he did that all the time. Joelle went back and forth all the time.
I get that.
Jade is getting more and more frustrated as police press her for answers.
I'm trying my best to tell you whatever you want to know and tell you the truth. Like, I love Joelle.
At that point, Jade ends the interview.
Let me get an attorney, please. I'm not doing this with you guys.
Investigators are still very suspicious of Jade and her story, but they have nothing to hold her on.
You're free to go, but we will see you again, and it's not going to be as pleasant.
Once Jade leaves, detectives are eager to speak with her ex, Marvin Bryant. But before they can make a move, Marvin shows up on his own.
On Saturday, August 15th, Marvin Bryant walks into the Seminole County Sheriff's Office stating that he believes that he is the prime suspect in a murder case.
That doesn't happen every day. You don't have somebody coming into the police station saying stuff like that.
You came in and told the deputy you're the prime suspect in a homicide. What was that all about?
I thought I was, man. Somebody dies. She talking about her friend died. Well, I'm just a little scared.
With no prior criminal history, Marvin wanted to make sure his name wasn't being dragged into something it shouldn't be.
He talked to Jade, and he felt that, well, maybe he should give a statement too, to try to maybe absolve him of any suspicion.
Who did she tell you died?
The dude she was dating while we were broke up.
He says at the 5-year mark, they broke up for about a year.
But unlike Jade's statement, he says they are still in a relationship.
And that he lives with Jade and their children in Deltona.
Why would she tell us you live in Apopka? Why would she say that?
I'm not sure about that.
At that time, detectives realized that these three are in a love triangle. Jade has been dating them both.
Detectives let Marvin know that Jade has said that she actually saw Joelle that weekend.
Well, I'll tell you what she told us. She went over dude's house that died. Hung out with him. Yeah, I know it sucks.
This makes Marvin visibly upset.
One can only speculate what Marvin Bryant was thinking at this time. He has to feel betrayed by Jade, his girlfriend of 10 years.
Detectives redirect their line of questioning to the Monday after Joelle went missing.
Okay. Monday, what happened? Y'all stay home all day?
All day, pretty much. Well, I mean, we probably ran errands again.
Together?
Walmart, like that.
That's when detectives noticed something about Marvin's hands.
Okay, let me stop real quick.
Detectives notice Marvin Bryant has cuts on both of his hands.
Police realize that this may be signs of a struggle.
Detectives investigating the murder of 30-year-old Joelle Cosby have just learned he was involved in a love triangle with his girlfriend, Jade Caparelli, and Jade's other boyfriend, Marvin Bryant.
In speaking with Marvin, they noticed some suspicious cuts on his hands.
He just tried to slough it off like they weren't there. But there were multiple healing cuts on different areas of his hands.
What you're telling me, I know is not truthful. I'm gonna tell you straight up, it's not truthful.
Honestly, I don't want nothing to do with it because this looks real bad on me now.
Given that the victim was stabbed, 40 plus times, your hand can slip down and actually get cut on the blade yourself.
But when they press him on it, Marvin ends the interview.
Look, okay, I'm gonna have to ask for a lawyer now.
Okay.
However, investigators have what they need to obtain a search warrant for the home Marvin shares with Jade.
When we conducted the search warrant at the house, there wasn't really anything of evidentiary value within that house.
But outside the home is a different story.
Immediately, they pick up on some suspicious things.
We saw that fresh red mulch had been spread around a couple different planter areas.
Detectives also noticed in the driveway there was one spot in particular that looked cleaner than the surrounding driveway, as if it had been pressure washed.
And the final red flag? Marvin's car appears to be missing.
His car is nowhere to be found. Marvin now claims it was stolen.
I think Marvin thought, I'll report it stolen, and that way I'm not looked at as a suspect because I'm a victim of a vehicle theft.
Detectives think there's more to the story. They issue an APB for the vehicle, a white Ford Mustang.
I want every patrol unit keeping an eye out for that vehicle.
And before long, they get a hit.
That car was set on fire over in Lake County. It was completely destroyed. I mean, it was burned to the ground.
Which means any potential evidence has been destroyed with it.
Police aren't able to pull any DNA or fingerprints or anything off of that car.
Regardless, investigators believe they're onto something. So they begin retracing Jade and Marvin's movements in the hours leading up to Joelle's murder.
During Marvin's interview, he mentioned that he and Jade had ran some errands at Walmart.
So detectives decided to obtain that security video to see what the couple was doing in the store.
They see Jade and Marvin enter into the Walmart around 7:45 a.m. and make a beeline directly for the cleaning supplies.
They're buying a large amount of cleaning products, just various cleaning products, and 2 bags of red mulch.
Next, detectives get a warrant for the vehicle Jade was driving the night she picked Joelle up from his mother's house.
Detectives have it towed back to their headquarters to get their CSI team to go through it.
You can spray luminol or Blue Star reagent in an area that you suspect may have some type of substance that could be reactive. So when you do that, it will glow a nice bright blue color.
Based on the test, there are clear signs of a cleanup inside the car.
They were able to recover blood DNA evidence out of the back seat of that vehicle.
Does the blood belong to Joelle Cosby?
In order to figure out who this blood belonged to, investigators would have to send it off to a lab.
While detectives await the results, they pull phone records for Joelle, Jade, and Marvin.
Phone records show Jade picking up Joel at his mother's house and then going to his house.
But they don't stop there.
Around midnight, this phone shows him traveling with Jade to the home she shares with Marvin in Deltona.
Jade said that the last time she saw Joel was when she dropped him off at home. She never mentioned anything about him coming over to her house that night.
During that same time, Marvin's phone is at the house in Deltona. Jade's phone then reunites and connects with Marvin's phone at her house. After that, Joelle's phone essentially goes silent.
However, by 2 a.m., Marvin and Jade's phones keep moving.
Jade and Marvin's phone then travel together down 415 and several other areas within Volusia County and Seminole County.
The phones eventually land in Geneva, at the same spot Joel's body was found 2 days later.
There's now no question that Marvin and Jade are behind the murder.
And when the DNA results from the blood found in Jade's car come in, it confirms that assertion.
There was enough in the back seat to be able to positively identify that to our victim.
Now, at this point, investigators have enough evidence to get arrest warrants for both Jade and Marvin.
Let's bring them in.
Once we got the arrest warrants for both Marvin and Jade, we sent the crime suppression team in Deltona, which is a plainclothes tactical unit.
And it doesn't take long before the couple is spotted on the highway.
There's nowhere to run now.
Officers pull them over under the guise of a routine traffic stop.
Go ahead, step out for me, Jada.
On December 4th, 2020, investigators have moved in to arrest Marvin Bryant and Jade Caparelli for the murder of Jade's boyfriend, 30-year-old Joel Cosby.
Jada, go ahead, step out for me, Jada. Come back here with me. What's your full name?
Jade Caparelli.
All right.
Well, I'd like to know why I'm under arrest.
I'll explain to you in just a minute.
Are you Marvin?
They ordered them to get out so that they could arrest them and take them to jail. And those two are charged with first-degree murder.
What am I being arrested for? You think you're a fantastic job, everyone.
I kind of knew she had something to do with it or she done it. So it was a little justice for my family, even though they still was grieving.
After they arrested, they didn't want to speak to us. They basically just asked for the lawyers and
Confession and testifying against Marvin at trial.
She turned on him 100%.
She was tired of the lies. She was tired of nobody really knowing the truth or her side.
But when Jade sits down with prosecutors, the truth isn't what they expected.
Jade claims she's been a victim of domestic violence at the hands of Joel Cosby.
Yeah, it's been a lie, let the rhythm ignite. Baseline thumping through the heat of the night. Snap your fingers, move your feet to the beat. Funky little fire dancing in the street. So smooth, feel it deep in your soul. Let the music take your body in control. Spin around, let your worries.
Joel would never hurt a woman, and there are no reports backing Jade's claims.
We didn't have any documentation or any law enforcement reports in recent time that showed any type of violence between Jade and Joel.
Jade says that's because she tried to keep it all under wraps.
She says at first she didn't want to talk about it because she was embarrassed and afraid.
My mom suffered a lot of abuse when I was younger, and she told me not to let anybody do that to me. And I was too scared to call the cops because I sold drugs. I felt like I would have gotten in trouble.
She also didn't want to tell Marvin because Marvin did not know she was in a relationship with Joel, and she would have to admit that she had been cheating on him.
But Jade claims eventually she could no longer hide it.
What happened?
I'm fine. It got really bad one time where Joel actually hit me in my face, punched me. I came home and told a whole lie, but I ended up telling Marvin what happened. And he was just like, well, let me get at him, let me fight him.
Marvin, of course, is hearing Jade's side of the violence, and I think Marvin didn't like that she was still talking to Joel.
Here you are, as what is supposed to be a man, and you're living with this girl who you clearly see is with somebody else.
I'm sorry, I won't see him again.
But she couldn't stay away and continued two-timing both men.
So when Jade decided to get together with Joel on the night of the 9th, tensions were already running high.
She said after she dropped him off at home, they got into an argument because she didn't want to spend the night.
You really not gonna stay tonight?
I already told you I'm not staying tonight.
Yo, so where you going?
It doesn't matter. Just leave me alone.
So I jumped up and grabbed my stuff so I could go home. And he jumped in my car. And I was just like, I'm gonna bring you to Marvin so he can fight you. And I called Marvin and told him, hey, he's in the car, he's not getting out, I'm bringing him over.
Bring it, let's go, start the car, let's go, I'm ready.
He wasn't gonna back down from Marvin. You know, he didn't mind confronting him and just being like, what's your problem? And we believe that's why he willingly got into that car with Jade to ride over the house.
But when they arrived in Deltona, Joel never could have anticipated the fury that awaited him.
Joel was walking basically into a trap.
When I pulled up to the driveway, Marvin was already in the driveway.
It was such a quick and brutal attack.
You didn't even give him a chance to defend himself.
In June of 2023, accused killer Jade Caparelli is finally giving a confession regarding the events that took the life of her boyfriend, 30-year-old Joel Cosby.
She admits she drove him to her home in Deltona, Florida, where she lived with her other boyfriend, Marvin.
The intention was for Marvin to beat Joel up.
But Jade claims she never anticipated what happened next.
Marvin opened his door, he hit him.
You didn't even give him a chance to defend himself. You know, you had to surprise him with the attack.
As far as I could see, I thought they were just fighting.
According to her, it just looked like Marvin was hitting Joel.
Joel tried to get away from the attack, but it was such a quick and brutal attack that Marvin met him over there and continued outside on the ground.
Jade says once she realized what was really going on, she was paralyzed by fear.
It's possible that our victim wasn't even able to scream. If his lungs had been punctured and his neck was stabbed so many times, it's possible that he couldn't even make a sound at that point.
But eventually, the severity of Joel's injuries was clear.
I saw Joel was bleeding, you know. I mean, I watched Joel die. And in my mind, like, I was like, I want to help him, but I didn't. I panicked.
It's kind of shocking that there were no witnesses to this crime, considering this all happened in the driveway.
Let's keep in mind this happens, you know, in the early hours of the morning. There's not really a lot of traffic on the roadways. There's not a ton of exterior lights or street lights or really anything like that in the area that would have just like lit this place up.
Jade says once Joel was dead, Marvin started giving her orders.
Marvin was like, you know, just be quiet, just get in your car, follow me. I watched him pull Joel into the car, and I followed him, and he went out to Geneva. I don't remember exactly where we were.
She waited in the car for Marvin while he took off all of Joel's clothes, leaving him naked, and disposed of his body by the side of the road.
Marvin then put Joel's bloody clothes into the back of Jade's car, which would explain the blood evidence police later found.
Follow me back to the house, okay?
Okay.
Did you ever see what he was stabbing him with?
No, he got rid of that. When he threw away all his clothes, he threw that in the trash too. Like, he literally put all that stuff in the trash, and the trash people took it.
In the following days, the couple worked tirelessly to erase the rest of the evidence.
He didn't die from a single stab wound. There was a lot of blood in the driveway.
In order to cover it up, they even bought red mulch in order to soak up some of that blood.
They thought it would blend in and they could easily help dispose of that large amount of blood evidence that was there. But it didn't work.
Damn it, man. Well, let's just throw this on the tree and figure something else out.
He went and rented one of the pressure washers. He pressure washed the driveway, and after he finished, it just looked like, you know, every other driveway with oil stains in it.
Then there was the issue of the two cars, which both had blood evidence inside.
They bought the cleaning supplies from Walmart and attempted to clean the blood from the back seat of Jade's car.
What are we gonna do about your car?
But when it came to Marvin's car, they had to devise a new plan.
There was so much blood in the Ford that there was no way they could clean it up.
So they decided to drive it to Lake County and set it on fire.
Is there anything else you think we really need to know that maybe we didn't ask you?
No.
That'll conclude it. It is approximately 2:19 p.m., 19 hours. With Jade's cooperation in the prosecution against Marvin, we had a tight case.
Armed with Jade's statement, prosecutors enter Marvin's June 2024 trial feeling fully prepared.
Detectives from both Volusia and Seminole County testify at the trial and weave the tapestry for how this murder occurred.
According to the prosecution, Marvin was a cold and calculated killer.
Marvin was at the house waiting. So Joelle was showing up to an ambush, attacker laying in wait with a knife.
It would lead one to believe that, in this case, Marvin Bryant had a lot of time to think about what he wanted to do and how he wanted to do it.
In his assault, Marvin stabbed Joelle over 45 times wherever he could, head, neck, and torso.
To support their claims, prosecutors called Jade Caparelli to the stand.
Jurors hear about Jade's on-again, off-again relationships with Joelle and with Marvin.
She recites the same account to jurors as she did in her recorded confession.
It was a very strong case going to prosecution, even without her statement or without her cooperation.
During cross-examination, Marvin's defense team doesn't go easy on Jade.
They essentially pinned the case back on Jade, and that he was just helping her and he was just kind of standing by.
However, the jury isn't buying it.
Jurors find Marvin guilty of first-degree murder. He's ultimately sentenced to life in prison.
Marvin didn't really show much reaction to anything going on. He just sat there watching.
He wasn't, say, remorseful. I just feel like he realized how stupid what he did was. And the fact that, like, my life is over.
In exchange for her testimony, Jade is granted the plea deal she was initially promised.
She pled and accepted a reduced charge of second-degree murder. She was sentenced to 35 years in prison. She gets credit for time served, and she has to serve roughly 80% of that time.
It was definitely a case where, no one like that needs to be free at all. But I believe it was some justice served.
Though Joelle's killers are now behind bars, it doesn't ease the pain of this truly senseless murder.
At the end of the day, the contempt, the deception, the lack of transparency all led to this deadly recipe that cost Joel Cosby his life.
Now, not only is his daughter without a father, your daughter will never be able to see you ever again. You ruined your life just as much as you ruined all of these other people's lives.
However, through their grief, Joelle's family has found strength in their memories of him.
We do go through pictures, or my brother might have me listening to some of their old music that they made together, sharing positive stories about him. We do all of that to try to keep his memory alive. I think it's a good thing for his legacy to be told, because we really do miss him.
Jessica Delancey and her new man are hot for each other in sunny Jacksonville, Florida.
He brought excitement to her life.
But Jessica will pay the ultimate price for getting involved with a man who plays dirty.
She accepted the criminal activities as a way of life to keep up the financial rewards that came with it.
Jessica would do anything to help her man get what was rightfully his.
And later in the Windy City, Lisa Toney is starved for attention when she takes up with a sexy stranger.
He had this way of being able to zero in on a woman to get whatever it was that he wanted.
And she'll do anything to give her new man what he wants.
he was a fatal attraction.
Lisa was going to be his next victim.
For as long as she can remember, Jessica Delancey of Pickettville, Georgia, has only known what it's like to feel unwanted and alone.
She was abandoned by her mother. Jessica's father was abusive, and he was an alcoholic.
Jessica's grandmother is left to care for her, but pays little attention to her needs.
She had no home life whatsoever. There was no one there to help direct her.
There wasn't a lot of things in her environment that could reinforce her in a positive way.
Despite her circumstances, Jessica still holds out hope that one day she'll get far away from Pickettville.
Daydreaming is certainly a coping mechanism because she felt neglected and abandoned. And for Jessica, that daydream, that fantasy, the constant fantasy she had in her mind was to be wanted and to be loved.
Fresh out of high school, 17-year-old Jessica marries the first man who catches her eye. He whisks her away to Jacksonville, 10 miles down the road.
She's desperately looking for somebody to love and accept her. He didn't treat her very well. Not long after that, he left her with a son to take care of on her own.
A year after leaving home, Jessica is already looking for a fresh start. She and her son move in with a friend who works as an exotic dancer, and Jessica signs up for classes at the local community college.
She was trying to better herself by getting an education. She was going to school to be a certified nursing assistant, but she had some difficulties to pay for those education programs.
With her bills piling up, Jessica's new roommate suggests a way to fix her money problems.
She had no real way of making a living. Her friend told Jessica the fastest way you can make this cash is to come and work at the strip club.
Jessica takes her friend's advice and makes her way to the dance floor.
She worked as an exotic dancer at one of the local clubs here.
She was an attractive girl. She did very well financially. She walks away in the evening and has cash in her pocket that she can now spend freely.
Jessica drops out of school to focus full-time on making money at the club.
Jessica was like a lot of other young ladies who are simply looking to escape circumstances that are already dismal. They want to find a better life, but they don't have a real plan. They haven't really thought about the resources they have at hand or resources that are available to them.
But there are drawbacks that come with her new lifestyle that affect her now 2-year-old child.
Between taking care of her son and stripping, that was a very, very tough balancing act for her.
Jessica would oftentimes leave her son for long periods of time. When she was dancing, she relied heavily on other family members to assist her.
When she ended up having her own child at a very young age, she repeated that same behavior, what she was taught, to be neglectful and to abandon. And therefore, she did the same to her child by passing the care of that child on to her family.
The last thing Jessica expects to find, stripping, is love. But that's exactly what happens when, a month into her new job, she spies 19-year-old drug dealer Derek Goldson.
Derek took a fancy to Jessica and they struck up conversation.
They exchanged phone numbers that night. And Jessica and Derek, from then on out, they started a relationship.
And it isn't long before the only place Jessica wants to be is by the side of her new man.
Derek had large amounts of cash because of his involvement in the drug trade.
The combination of being a decent-looking guy and having substantially more money than she was ever earning as an exotic dancer, it was almost too much to resist.
Jessica doesn't care where the money comes from, as long as Derek is spending it on her.
He slipped a wad of cash in her G-string, and he made her feel good about herself.
It's really not surprising that she would date someone who had a very severe criminal occupation, a drug dealer, and he took care of her financially. This fed into that fantasy she always had of being taken care of in every way possible. So his lifestyle, for her, didn't even matter.
Just 5 days after meeting Derek, Jessica packs up her 4-year-old son and moves in with him. But she quickly learns that her new relationship comes at a price.
Not long after Jessica realized that he was a very controlling person, he told her that she had to stop working at the strip club. She's his woman. He doesn't want other men looking at her.
Derek promised to support her and her son, so she quit her job as a dancer.
Like I said, I'm taking care of you. I'm your daddy now. Since your father don't care.
By Derek offering to take care of Jessica, this was the beginning of a grooming that we see quite often happens. In many ways, this is what she wanted. The fantasy come true. The knight in shining armor riding in and taking care of her. But this was really a pure manipulation, a grooming by Derek.
Derek is not only a control freak, he's also a drug dealer who's addicted to his own product.
Whenever Derek would use cocaine, he would have a short temper and he would become very volatile. On multiple occasions, he would blacken her eye or bloody her lip.
She didn't try to get out of that situation because at that point, him taking care of her and her son, she probably saw that as a necessary evil.
By Jessica growing up in a home where her father was missing, the affection of a father, the role modeling of a father as to what a relationship should be, in this case between a man and a woman, Jessica didn't know what a healthy relationship was.
Despite Derek's abusive behavior, Jessica stays in the relationship, and within a few months, she finds herself in a new line of work.
Derek had Jessica working for him. She would frequently drive him to places to pick up drugs and to drop off drugs. The main person that Jessica and Derek dealt with was a guy by the name of Reggie.
Reggie acts as Derek's main supplier, and their business relationship seems to run smoothly, until the night that Reggie sells Derek a batch of bad crack cocaine.
Derek was cooking up the substance on the stove, and the product turned into mush. So he says, well, I can't go out and sell this. This turned into a $1,000 loss.
This is money out of my pocket.
He became very irate. He was saying that he was going to go over and force Reggie to make this thing right.
I'm gonna get his ass. We're gonna get his ass.
As a drug dealer, your reputation is on the line. You have to do something extreme to make the person pay for it.
Derek will not rest until he can recoup his cash. He comes up with a plan to steal his money back from Reggie, and Jessica is eager to help him.
Jessica's looking at this as, we're gonna do anything we need to do to get this money.
You with it?
Yeah, come on, of course. Let's do it.
Let's go.
She's saying, this is my man, and I'm gonna do what I need to do to keep it all good with him.
The couple decides to disguise their appearance in order to take Reggie by surprise.
So at that point, they really take on this Bonnie and Clyde persona. Derek put on a black knit cap over his face, and Jessica donned a blonde wig.
Then they drive to Reggie's house, and while they wait outside for him to show up, Derek works out one last detail with Jessica.
Derek had a AK-47. He provided Jessica with a .45 caliber handgun.
This is a guy she's known for 4 months. He's now asking her to commit a crime.
She could have withdrawn it at that point. She could have said, no, don't give me that gun. I don't want to do this.
Derek says, Jessica, this gun is for your protection. That's when it really becomes all real to Jessica. She takes the gun.
It's quite obvious that Jessica has the same mind frame at this point as Derek. She was willing to commit murder in order to please him, but to also let him know that she was an equal partner in their crime.
And when Reggie shows, Jessica continues to follow Derek's lead.
At that point, he was confronted by Derek and Jessica at gunpoint, and that he forced him inside of the house.
Oh, yeah. Calm down. It's all right, man. Get the money.
Once inside, they realize Reggie doesn't live alone. He has a family.
She realized that there's Reggie's wife in Kyoto.
And their niece, who was 10 years old. I think Jessica was extremely surprised to see anybody except perhaps Reggie's wife inside the house.
Where's the money? It's in the back, man.
Despite her shock, Jessica keeps her gun aimed at Reggie's family as she stands by her man, ready to take his orders.
You would think that Jessica, being a mother herself, her motherly instincts would kick in, but apparently Derek's hold over Jessica was a lot more stronger.
After knowing 19-year-old Derek Goldson for just 4 months in Jacksonville, Florida, 21-year-old Jessica Delancey is ready to prove her love to him. After Derek's supplier, Reggie, sells him a bad batch of cocaine, Jessica joins Derek on a mission to steal back his money.
Let's go, babe.
Derek and Jessica force Reggie into the home. She just instinctively followed Derek's lead.
Reggie's wife, Kyoto, and his 10-year-old niece are in the living room. Despite the presence of a child, Jessica and Derek demand that Reggie give them their money.
We just want the money. That's all we want.
Reggie indicated that the money was in the bedroom, in a closet. Jessica went to look for it while Derek kept Reggie and Kyoto in the living room.
While Jessica is searching for the drugs and money, she hears Derek cry out to her. When she runs back in, she sees a struggle ensuing between Reggie and Derek. They're fighting over the gun.
Derek is trying to give Jessica commands about what to do as he's wrestling with Reggie. Jessica manages to shoot Reggie once in the back.
As Reggie fell to the floor, Derek then took control of the rifle and then executed him.
Jessica and Derek are clearly working as a team. She's willing to do anything to fortify their relationship.
What do we do now?
I don't know.
While the killers are distracted, Kyoto tries to escape.
She turned and fired multiple shots at Kyoto as she was fleeing from that home.
Despite Jessica's attempt to shoot her, Kyoto manages to get away.
Derek and Jessica ran out the front door of the home and back to the truck. They knew at that point in time, based upon the screaming and the gunshots, that the police were going to be on the way.
He ordered Jessica to grab the wheel in the drive, to actually be the getaway driver.
The pair start to flee the scene.
Derek begins to question Jessica about Kyoto, and he said, "Did you kill her?" And she said, "I don't know." At this point, she's flustered. She doesn't really know what happened, but she did shoot at her.
Suddenly, Derek spots something out of the corner of his eye.
As they were pulling off, Derek saw someone hiding underneath a tree off to the left of the road.
He yelled at Jessica to stop. She slammed on the brakes.
Derek wants to make sure there are no loose ends.
Derek got out to confront Kyoto, who then begged for her life and asked him why he was doing this.
Derek raised up the AK-47, executing Kyoto.
At this point, you have Jessica, who's seen her boyfriend murder 2 people. You would think that Jessica would be feeling like, my boyfriend is a lot more dangerous than I figured. I'm gonna take off. But she didn't do that.
Come on, get in the car.
After she had witnessed Derek killing 2 people, there are a lot of things going on in her mind, but leaving him was not one of them.
Now partners in 2 cold-blooded murders, Jessica and Derek flee the scene. The money they came to get, forgotten.
The result of this entire affair is that it was all for naught. They took nothing except 2 lives, and that's a tragedy.
She could have opted to stop participating. For her, there was just no turning back.
For the next 3 weeks, Derek and Jessica hole up in their apartment, hoping everything will blow over.
Derek continued to tell her, well, you can't tell anybody about this.
Derek and Jessica believed that the only witnesses that could identify them were the 2 individuals that were killed. Jessica and Derek thought they got away with murder.
What they don't realize is that when they drove away from Reggie's apartment, a crucial witness emerged from her hiding spot.
And only a matter of feet away, sort of concealed under the tree in the bushes, was the niece.
She witnessed all of these things that happened.
It's difficult to imagine the impact on a 10-year-old child witnessing an execution, particularly of your aunt or a relative, but of anyone. It's an experience that's going to live with that young girl all of her life.
After running to a neighbor's house for safety, Reggie's niece calls the police.
She gave a very detailed description of the events from the very beginning to the end.
Reggie's niece tells the police the man was wearing a mask, but she's sure that she'd recognize the woman if she saw her again.
She had a very lucid and very excellent memory for the features, and it resulted in a very good sketch and likeness.
That just shows you that sometimes trauma can make people remember things. It stays in their mind, and it becomes very vivid to some people.
As investigators hunt for Jessica, Derek's pulled over in a traffic stop and detectives run his plates. He's wanted on an outstanding warrant from a domestic dispute he had with a former girlfriend. He's immediately taken into custody.
Now at this point, the police don't know that Derek is the guy they're looking for. He calls Jessica and asks her to go to his best friend's Garrett house to get this bail money for him.
When Jessica arrives at Garrett's house to collect the money, she's unprepared for who she'll meet there.
Garrett was actually dating the sister of Kyoto Williams.
When she goes to the house, there are friends of Kyoto who are going to her funeral.
And one guest in particular catches Jessica by surprise, Reggie's niece. And later, in Chicago, Lisa Tony leaves her husband for another man, with explosive results.
She wanted him dead, and sooner the better.
He was like a shadow moving through the night. I mean, he could have walked up to him and blew his brains out, but he did not. He devised what he considered a perfect crime by sending him a package with a bomb in it.
Lisa would had her life turned upside down by a master of manipulation.
Jessica Delancey and her boyfriend Derek Goldson believe they've gotten away with a double murder after they shot and killed their drug supplier Reggie and his wife Kyoto over a deal gone bad. But when Derek gets thrown in jail on an unrelated charge, their quest for money will be their undoing.
Derek calls up Jessica and tells her to go to his best friend Garrett's house to get the money that he needs.
Garrett was actually dating the sister of Kyoto Williams. Jessica went over to getting ready to go to a memorial for
All of these people here who were prepared to go to Kyoto's funeral. Among them, who saw the officer
Kyoto's sister ran after and asked her what was wrong, and reported that's who killed Reggie and Kyoto.
Jessica and Derek thought they had gotten away. They were riding high. They thought they were invincible until that point that a child stepped up to identify them. And at that point, she knew that it was all over.
Jessica immediately leaves the house without Derek's bail money. Reggie's niece is taken to the police, who learn about Jessica and the person who connects her to both Garrett and Kyoto.
The police then reviewed Derek Golson's jail phone calls and realized that Derek Golson had had a conversation with Jessica Delancey about this encounter with the 10-year-old niece. Based upon their investigation and hearing these phone calls that were made between Derek and Jessica, a warrant for her arrest was obtained from a judge.
Jessica is picked up at her home and taken into custody. Confronted with her own voice on tape, Jessica confesses to investigators.
Jessica not only confessed to her part in the murders, but she also revealed Derek's part in the murder as well.
Because Derek was in jail, Jessica no longer felt that she was under his thumb, under his rule, under his power, and therefore was much more comfortable in speaking to the police as to what had happened. At this point, she was going to look out for herself and without the fear of retribution from Derek.
In exchange for her testimony against Derek, Jessica is given a sentence of 48 years.
Derek pled guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of armed robbery. Based upon his plea agreement, he would be sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences.
And the irony of all of this is after Derek murdered Reginald, after he murdered his wife, they didn't get any money. They didn't find any money. So that was a wasted errand that ended with a lot of wasted lives.
Including Jessica's.
All of Jessica's dreams about freedom and being taken care of and having love in her life, they've all gone down the drain because of that fateful decision of getting involved with a man that she thought she loved.
You can always tell a person's future by the people they hang around with, and this guy was a drug dealer. She should have seen the writing on the wall.
I think that she began life as a very damaged woman, which made her more vulnerable to meeting someone like Derek Goldson, who promised her the world. That's the tragedy of the story.
Like Jessica Delancey, Chicagoan Lisa Tony also has a taste for the fast life. And she's willing to trade in the man she has for one who can give her what she wants. After 6 years of marriage to husband Marcus, Lisa Tony seems to have it all.
Lisa and Marcus lived in Dalton, Illinois, together with her son from a previous marriage.
They appeared to be happy to the outside world. She was a good homemaker and a good mother.
Marcus really worked hard as a custodian, and when he did get any extra money, he used that for flipping properties.
But Lisa takes on the lion's share when it comes to growing the couple's fortunes.
For more than 20 years, Lisa worked for a major phone company, eventually becoming a human resources manager. Lisa made substantially more than Marcus. She had a 6-figure salary.
Over time, Lisa starts to feel the pressure of keeping her family afloat.
As the breadwinner, you've got a lot of responsibility and a lot of extra stress.
And it isn't just the salary gap weighing on Lisa.
While she loved her husband, Marcus really had a temper, and he would just lash out at her over the smallest things.
They had some very bad altercations. Marcus had some violent temper, and he would become abusive.
She was really conflicted about their relationship.
When a handsome stranger moves in across the street, Lisa becomes even more torn.
She was immediately taken by his appearance. He was muscular, well-dressed, well-spoken, educated, and he knew how to impress people.
She attracted this young man, handsome man. She just wanted to have a little fun.
Cienki Lalamond is a serial con artist with a history of targeting women. And Lisa is about to become tangled up in one of his schemes.
Lisa had her life turned upside down by a man who was a master manipulator.
In Chicago, Lisa Tony is feeling stuck in a crumbling marriage with her husband, Marcus.
Marcus really had a temper, and he would just lash out at her over the smallest things. While she loved her husband, she just really could not take that treatment.
Lisa longs for the affection of a man who will treat her right.
She felt like maybe, she just wanted to have a little fun, wanted to change her lifestyle.
That opportunity comes knocking when a seductive stranger, Cienki Lalamond, moves into the neighborhood and introduces himself to Lisa.
Cienki was very smooth and suave. He had a kind of a sexual presence that would attract any woman.
He said that he was a financial consultant, and he started asking her, hey, how's your credit? She said, it's not very good. And he said, well, I can help you fix that.
He gave her his card and said, call me.
Lisa takes Cienki up on his offer, and it isn't long before she's revealing her personal problems that also need fixing. Cienki jumps at the chance to help Lisa take her mind off her troubled marriage.
He went through the courting process like any man would do. He wined and dined her and wooed her with gifts and flowers.
Their relationship kind of changed after a short while from someone she'd see in the neighborhood. There were romantic getaways.
She attracted this young man, handsome man, who was obviously very sexy.
To Lisa, Cienki is everything her husband is not. He's an attentive lover and flush with cash. And Marcus seems oblivious to Lisa's secret meetings with him.
Lisa was taken with this man's grand romantic gestures because this is something that she felt that she needed. But he wasn't doing it out of the kindness or generosity of his heart. He was doing it so that he can get her to do anything he wanted later on.
Cienki knows all the right moves to get Lisa to melt in the palm of his hands. But what looks like the start of a passionate affair is really just a con man's ploy to tee up his next score.
Cienki was a career criminal and quite often took advantage of women. That was his ploy, that was his game, that's what he was really good at. And he found the perfect victim in Lisa, because here was a woman who was having all sorts of marital issues and felt very unfulfilled in her marriage.
What Lisa doesn't know is that all this romance comes with a price.
He knew from the beginning that Lisa was basically going to be a huge gold mine. Marcus had a steady job. He did have good credit. He had property. He was the kind of person that credit card companies are eager to give credit to. Cienki took full advantage of that.
When he agreed to help her correct her credit, he also inquired about Marcus.
What does he do for a living?
Well, he's a janitor.
He would ask Lisa stuff about my mother's maiden name and all that stuff, and Marcus' mother's maiden name, including his Social Security number.
Lisa gave him all of her financial information. She would basically do whatever it was that he asked. Cienki had this way of being able to zero in on a woman and be able to get that person to do whatever it was that he wanted.
With an all-access pass to Marcus's personal information, Cienki gets to work, taking over his identity.
Cienki was a master identity thief. He created a false driver's license with Marcus Tony's name on it and Cienki's picture.
Cienki opened up a P.O. box in a mailing facility in Marcus Tony's name. He could easily receive and be accessible to Marcus's mail without any questions being asked.
Cienki has already done all the work needed to prosper at Marcus's expense when Lisa tells him she's had enough of her marriage and wants to start a new life with him. That's when Cienki lets Lisa in on his shady dealings.
She implied that she wanted to do something negative or harmful to Marcus. And Cienki explained to her, rather than physically harming him, it would be much better to steal from him.
When Cienki confesses to Lisa that he's already laid the groundwork to rob Marcus blind, she tells him that she wants in on the action.
Almost any woman involved in an affair who finds out that their boyfriend is trying to financially defraud their husband would be upset and want to get out of that as quickly as possible. But Lisa, surprisingly, went along with it.
She was in favor of that. She felt that this was her way of getting back at him. It was perfect combination of factors for her.
It went beyond just having some sex on the side to wanting to financially destroy her husband. She wanted to humiliate him.
Now that Lisa's in on the con, the sky's the limit. And for the next 6 months, the conniving couple goes on an all-out spending spree.
Marcus had at least 9 different credit cards opened in his name, charges soaring up to at least $200,000. Marcus was oblivious to the fraud. Lisa was going about everyday life as if nothing had happened.
She's never displayed any regrets about stealing from Marcus. She thought she was justified, that he deserved what was happening to him and she deserved the good things that were coming from him.
Lisa was so deep into this extramarital affair with Cienki that she was oblivious to the fact that the debt that she was creating for her husband, the financial ruin she was creating for her husband, she would be responsible for at some point because legally she'd have to help pay that off.
7 months into their spending spree, Lisa decides it's time to show Marcus the door.
Lisa threw him out. She told him, go live in one of your rental apartments and get out. She threatened him with divorce.
Marcus didn't want to go. He loved her and thought they could work out whatever their problems.
That's when Lisa tells him that she's already moved on.
Lisa was able to tell her husband about this infidelity because of the years of abuse she suffered at his hands. So in some ways, this might have been the final kiss-off, the revenge, by letting him know not only was she free of him, but she found someone who she felt was a much better person.
And when Marcus discovers the second part of his wife's betrayal, Lisa will stop at nothing to protect her new man.
Marcus was starting to become aware that maybe he and Lisa had something to do with this. They came up with a plan so they wouldn't get caught.
Cienki had a great amount of power over Lisa that caused Lisa to act the way she did.
After throwing her husband Marcus out of the house in Chicago, Lisa Tony is having the time of her life with con artist Cienki Lalamond. Lisa and her new man are living the high life, literally at Marcus's expense.
She had expensive jewelry, beautiful clothes, luxury hotel stays. This was not the life that she had been used to.
Lisa was getting everything from Cienki that she did not get from Marcus. All these things fit into her idea what her lifestyle should be.
For Lisa to have gotten involved in that affair with Cienki and to take it even a step further by wanting to hurt him financially, it speaks to perhaps her being abused by him for many years. She was very unhappy in her marriage, so this was a way to get some sort of revenge.
But Lisa and Cienki's life in the fast lane is about to come to a screeching halt when creditors catch up with Lisa's estranged husband, Marcus.
Marcus started getting all these calls from credit card companies, and he was having to dispute these charges, and he was just baffled as to why this was even happening to him.
Marcus had excellent credit before. He'd always paid his bills on time.
I did not do these charges.
Marcus starts to wonder if he's deliberately being singled out, and he takes a guess at who might want to do him wrong.
He came to the house and saw 2 expensive cars parked in the driveway. Marcus became suspicious of Lisa.
And when he looked in, he saw Cienki was there along with Lisa.
He was able to tie in all the things that had been happening to him, including his credit problems.
Marcus realizes that not only has Cienki taken up with his wife, he's also taken off with his money.
Marcus began contacting Lisa and threatening her to go to the police. He figured out what was going on.
The prospect of bringing the police into the picture doesn't sit well with Lisa.
She panicked and started complaining to Cienki that we have to do something because we're going to get in trouble.
I just want to get rid of him. Like...
He wanted to kill him dead right then and there.
But Cienki is a master at the long game, and he has an explosive plan. He tells Lisa that he has a friend who can hook them up with exactly what they need to get the job done.
Cienki spent some time in a halfway house where he met another young man who had knowledge of how to make bombs. It was a standard pipe bomb. It had a pipe with 2 end caps with a hole drilled through that a wire could be placed in, and then it was connected to a pull chain.
Cienki appears to be such a sadistic individual. Not only did he want Marcus's wife, but he also wanted to torture. He wanted to play with Marcus. He wanted to destroy Marcus. In many ways, psychologically, he had a predator mentality. And because he did it so well, he was reinforced to keep doing it over and over again.
While Cienki is busy getting his hands dirty, Lisa patiently waits across town for word that the job is done.
At the time, she was safely in a hotel room in the city. They were communicating with each other over the cell phone.
Cienki sets the plan in motion, and once he has his weapon, he packages it inside a VCR case and puts it in a box that's rigged to go off when opened. Next, he gift wraps the package before shipping it to Marcus's new home across town.
So whichever side of the package you would open, it would pull that chain and explode.
He devised what he considered a perfect crime.
The next day, Marcus receives this special delivery. When he opens it up a little, he sees the VCR case. And Marcus thinks that the package contains another betrayal from his wife.
Marcus knew Lisa was sexually involved with Cienki, and he initially thought that there was going to be a videotape of Cienki with Lisa in his VCR. He still loved her and did not want to be confronted with her being physically involved with this character. So he didn't want to open the package initially. He put the package on the side.
But a few days later, Marcus decides to bring the box to the police.
He was torn because he knew she was being defrauded. He wanted that to stop. He really didn't want necessarily Lisa to go to jail. He wanted to get back with her.
He said, you know, I've been the subject of credit card fraud, and I think that this is someone trying to play some kind of prank with me.
The police dismiss Marcus's concerns and send him home with the package without examining its contents. And Marcus has no interest in finding out what's inside either, leaving Cienki to turn into a ticking time bomb of his own.
He's thinking he's gonna get word of a huge explosion any moment, but 8 days pass and he hears nothing.
Frustrated, Cienki decides to up the ante.
Cienki starts to call Marcus's house and leave these taunting messages.
So why don't you go ahead and open that little present I got you?
He really attacked his manhood, and he said, open the box. Are you a coward?
Cienki and Lisa were taunting Marcus to open that box and blow himself up. Tells me that these were people who were so deeply involved, so viscerally connected to one another, that they shared in the joy of hurting someone else.
Lisa had 8 days to warn Marcus about his potential doom, but she wanted him to die.
The menacing calls to Marcus finally pay off. 8 days after Cienki sends the package, Lisa finally gets the news she's been waiting for.
Lisa was watching the local news and she heard about an explosion at a South Side apartment, and then she sees a body bag being taken out of this apartment building, and the victim's name is Marcus Tony.
Lisa hurries home to Cienki, wondering what their next move should be. But instead of Cienki, she finds someone else waiting at her front door.
I'm just so shocked that somebody would do such a thing.
Cienki's gone.
Right after the murder, Cienque fled. He went to Jamaica. Who is he meeting there? A woman that he met from an online dating site. After Marcus Tony is killed by a pipe bomb mailed to him by his estranged wife Lisa and her lover Cienque Lalamond, Lisa Tony finds herself facing some tough questioning from law enforcement.
Well, Lisa became a suspect almost immediately because we knew that this fraud activity was going on. And they also knew about the voicemail messages of the Chicago police. They started putting two and two together.
They took her in. She was held for a substantial period of time. The police decided to break her. She became very upset.
While Lisa's taking the heat for her husband's murder, Cienque has already moved on with a woman he met online.
Lisa eventually found out she wasn't the only woman for Cienque. She was one in a long line of women who had been duped and had been conned. Cienque was such a manipulator, such a womanizer.
And even though Lisa's been left holding the bag, she's still not ready to turn on her man. 2 days into her questioning by police, Lisa continues to maintain her innocence, insisting that she had nothing to do with her husband's murder.
She agreed to take a polygraph test, and she failed it. And that made the investigators more focused on her involvement in the case.
Detectives decide to turn up the heat and share with her the grisly details of Marcus's death.
They started showing her crime scene pictures. She became very upset.
But she never acknowledged that she was involved.
Instead, Lisa points the finger at her lover.
Lisa did tell the detectives she was seeing another man, but at the same time, she didn't provide his name, and she even gave the wrong phone number. She was protecting him this entire time.
A few hours later, police release Lisa in the hopes that she'll lead them to more evidence. They suspect it's only a matter of time before her partner in crime reaches out. And sure enough, after 3 months on the run, Cienque calls Lisa.
She talked to Cienque at some point, and we got that number within hours. We tracked down the address for the tower it was beeping off of. That was coming from this woman's house in Hollywood.
Authorities started doing surveillance on the house. They saw a man that had Cienque's build, zeroed in on him. They took him into custody, and that's when he revealed, yes, I am Cienque Lalamond.
Realizing he's backed into a corner, Cienque is more than willing to turn on Lisa to save his own skin.
In order to avoid the death penalty, he agreed to cooperate in the investigation. And according to Cienque, she wanted him dead, and she was part of the fraudulent act.
Marcus was killed as a result of that. He lost his life that day because he opened the box and the bomb exploded and killed him.
A month after his death, based on the strength of Cienque's testimony, Lisa is arrested and charged with credit card fraud and the murder of her husband, Marcus. But at trial, Lisa claims that she was just as much a victim as her husband.
She was fatally attracted to him, but as to his criminal activities, she had no knowledge nor participated in the homicide of her husband.
Lisa has never acknowledged that she was involved, although the evidence, in my opinion, was overwhelming. We actually had witnesses that testified about how she helped with the fraudulent part. And every significant event in this bombing, she was talking to Cienque on their cell phone. From purchasing components to when it was being built to its delivery.
Lisa Tony is found guilty of fraud and conspiracy to use a weapon of mass destruction. For his part in the crime, Cienque Lalamond is sentenced to life in prison.
Cienque was the mastermind into the means of causing the murder, but Lisa was clearly the motive. He will never get out of prison.
Lisa is sentenced to life in prison without parole.
She did what he wanted her to do, and based on that, she ended up having to spend, and is still spending, a substantial period of her life in prison.
At Lisa's sentencing, she apologized to her husband's family, saying how sorry she was, but they said that they were unmoved.
Wild and free, this funky groove got you and me. Oh. dream shining bright in the light. Everybody moving, dancing wild and free. This funky groove got you and me.